called From the Heart. And today has just been the perfect day for me to speak about this from the heart. And I'm just going to call it a rant, call it a monologue, call it whatever you want. I'm just going to break down what I think is happening with us as a club, us as a fan base and everything. And listen, the first thing I'm going to start with is obviously the madness that's gone on today because we've signed a player from Burnley. Now, first of all, we all support Tottenham Hotspur and we want what is best for Tottenham Hotspur. Now, whenever I think of Tottenham Hotspur and I want to explain to people who we are and what this football club is, I will go onto YouTube and find that video that Tottenham Hotspur play or used to play before games with Trigger, Roger Lloyd-Pack, doing the video when it was called We Are Tottenham, and they talk about all the legends that played for this football club. And no matter how old you are or how young you are, you're born and bred and you learn your history about this football club. And obviously we can talk Gascoignes, we can talk Greaves, we can talk Gilzine, we can go Ginola, we can go Klinsmann, we can go Sheringham, we can go Alan Mullery, Dave Mackay, Mike England, Pat Jennings, Hugo Lloris. You can name a position where we have had icons at this football club. Were they bought as icons? Maybe not. Did they come through our youth academy, some of them, to become the brightest stars? Yeah, they did. But this football club has always, to me, stood for greatness. As a football club, forget the ownership. This isn't right now about the ownership. This is about what this football club stands for. This club stands for a lot of things, doing things first. The first FA Cup as a non-league team, 1901, never to be repeated. First team to win a European Cup. First team to win the FA Cup 8 times. First team, so many firsts. And this signing today has set ablaze the people that are either pro-Levy, anti-Levy, pro-Ange, anti-Ange, pro-Tottenham Hotspur, anti-Tottenham. This is ridiculous. You look at this now. I'm going to start talking about this signing a bit. I am all for bringing through the youth. I have championed it on many, many, many occasions, no more so than when I talk about Alfie Devine. I am all for these signings. I am all for it. But I have always said it's always good buying lumps of coal, hoping that they will turn into diamonds. But what you need to do is bring some diamonds along to help them, like other teams do. They'll bring in a few youth, but they'll bring in a few stars to help them along the way. Well, if someone has said to me, or someone has said to all of you in the 117 watching, however many on social media, or just Tottenham fans in general that are on you, don't watch YouTube, and just literally are Tottenham fans, if someone has said to you that we would have signed Dominic Solanke, 2 teenagers from the Championship, and re-signed Timo Werner, I can tell you, if you're serious and honest to yourself like I am, you'd put your hand on your heart and you'd say, what the hell is that? People are now talking about this kid like he's the second coming of Christ. Now, do I think he's a good player? Yes. Do I think he could be electric in the future? Yes. I am one who people will know on social media. I can be very outspoken, very opinionated about what we do, how we do it, who's behind it. I literally this summer, like I've always said, taken a step back, looked at the bigger picture. I put a tweet out saying, yep, we've gone down the data analytics, which is something I wanted. I championed it last year. And then Jane Flower, I don't know who's in the chat because I can't see the chat, when we didn't get Raya and I went nuts and we got Vicario, he said to me, Brian, you wanted to go down data. But then when we go down data, which was right. He called me out, which was right. And people know James Flower's one of my dearest friends. He was right. I'm all for going down the data. I appreciate it. I see it. But what I will say is we've had other directors of football. You look at Paratici, who doesn't do it and has found stars. Just because it's gone down the data analytic doesn't mean huge success. Not that I'm slating this player, but literally when I put on this tweet, I want players that walk into this first team and improve this first team to challenge. My God, he's played 30 games for Burnley. He's Premier League ready. That's the qualification now. You played 30 games in a Burnley team, with no disrespect to Burnley. You're now qualified to be a starter for Tottenham Hotspur. We have this great youth products coming through that we've sent out to get experience and create a pathway. And the way we've created a pathway is by sending them out on loan, but replacing them with even younger players. So it's like you go out on loan because you're not good enough and get the experience or you're not ready. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a player that's played 30 games for Burnley who we're going to put our trust in because he's first team ready. Now, like I said, the data backs some of this, what we need up. There's been mixed reaction from Burnley fans. And again, I'll say I've championed Archie Gray. From the very second he signed, I've championed it. But the way we're now doing it is we're saying that all these signings, he can walk into the first team now. People are telling me Archie Gray will walk into the first team. I hope he does. Do I think he will? No. Do I think he's the finished article in Premier League ready? No, I don't. I look at this, and one thing I will say, and people think I'm always so anti-Levy, we can't accuse Daniel Levy and Tottenham Hotspur of not spending money because he's spent money. And there's that photo that's come out that said we are the second highest spenders since he's been here. So we are factually spending money, but are we doing it correctly? Time will tell. I went on We Are Tottenham TV, and I keep getting told we're signing players in a few years. These players will be great. These players will be great. Well, what happened to about bringing in players to make this season great? What happened to I don't get it. And then what will happen? We've had it before where players have turned great. We've got to where we're just a fraction away from doing things, and we either sell our players for parts because of Real Madrid or whatever come in, or the players that have been here longer want to leave because they haven't won anything. So I don't get why this transfer right now, and it's leading me now to this goddamn fan base, this toxic fan base. And I'm talking about toxic whether you're like me and leave you out, you leave you in, you're Ange in, you're Ange out, you do the hokey cokey, whatever you want. This fan base, all they want to do is bitch and moan. Bitch and moan. Whether it be YouTubers, whether it be people that watch YouTube, whether it be people on Twitter with big accounts, fake accounts, troll accounts, small accounts. All they do is argue. And I've seen it today in my own eyes to me, as people will know I never get personal. Speak about the discussion. But all people want to do is call people names, whether it's on your real account, your fake account. Why haven't you just supporting the team and just having a disagreement and having a debate like we do on this show, like we have had with people in the chat? Do you know what? I have welcomed Dominic Solanke, as have many others. I think he's going to be a great signing now. Fully on board it and get why he has come. And he starts. But people telling me this guy's a first teamer for Tottenham, don't agree, but that's your opinion. But I just don't get where this vile, and like I said, it is coming from all over the shop. It's not from one side. It's not from this side. It's from whether you don't like the player, we'll bitch and moan about that. But you won't talk about that. You can't discuss the player's attributes and where he's from and do you think he'll do well? No, we have to get personal. Whether it be the manager, are you Ange in? Are you Ange out? Nope, you can't just say, I don't think he's right for the job because of this, this, this. I think he is good for or bad for the job. No, you have to bitch, moan, insult. Then, obviously, people in the chat here, you talk about the board. You can't argue without you lose all credibility when you bitch and moan and get personal. And whilst all this is happening, if you do feel the way I do about the board, and many others, I use me because it's obviously me talking, how are you going to get change if you're calling every person out? If you're bitching and moaning and getting personal, it's why I've taken a step back. I will deliver the same message. I'm as Levy out as I was yesterday. I'll be even more Levy out tomorrow because I want change at this football club. I don't think things are right at this football club. We have paid, the season ticket prices have gone up. Everything goes up. But once again, when you demand the concerts, we get all the great concerts. We get all the great sporting events. We get all the great extra stuff like the Skywalk, the F1. Is it wrong of me to want better players for my football club? Is it wrong for others to want better at their football club? No. But again, we have to bitch, we have to moan, we have to get insult, we have to take the piss out of each other. It's getting to a point where it's not even about football anymore. It's not even football anymore. And I'm mainly talking about that vile cesspit app, Twitter, which is, like I said, I've gone on Cowlin's show. The comments of me on Cowlin's show, the YouTube comments after it, are nothing but complimentary. Yeah, the odd one going, oh, Dagul's there, I don't like him, leave you out. But that's fair play. But the absolute disgust we have as a fan base for each other, just because we feel a different way, is absolutely horrific. Now, we could sign a couple of very good players within the next 2 days because the new buzzword investigating has come out today. We're investigating those two players could be 2 stars. And then everything I've just said, like I want diamonds for these lumps of coal, falls into line. Yes, I would have wanted it earlier. We've got 2 weeks of this window left. If we had signed, let's just say, an Eze, and I'll use Ryan's favourite, Conor Gallagher, and then this guy had come in, would there be this uproar? Would there be this? No, because the stars would come in first. I've learned many a times that at this football club, expect the unexpected. And it could be that those 2 stars come in. But then again, it could be that they don't. At the moment, I do not think the players that have come in strengthen our Premier League team. Probably Europe and Cup. And you know what? This young kid could come in and set the world alight. He could do. But I go back to what I said at the beginning. When we've had our Gazzers, our Ginolas, our Hoddles, our Waddles, our Berbatovs, our Harry Kanes. Players that make you, and not just you as Spurs fans, the rest of the Premier League go, holy crap, Spurs mean business. And unfortunately, I don't believe that's what we've done with this signing. Happy to be proven wrong. Happy that in 2 years' time, he could be putting up trees. But what about now, Spurs fans? What about bloody now? So it's got to the point as well with Twitter, I think I am literally just going to post shows that we do. Because if I go full on Levy out, as do others, I'm negative, I'm toxic, I'm this, I'm that, I'm every name under the sun. If I take a step back and put it in a positive light, and I haven't used the Levy out hashtag once this summer, not once. When I say something positive, oh my God, you're an idiot. Why are you thinking? You cannot win on these apps because people just want to bitch and moan. And it's getting to the point, people, where I don't even think people on that app even care about the success of Tottenham. I don't, honestly, and I'm not saying that for everyone. I'm saying the troll accounts, the fake accounts, the accounts that think they know everything. I want Spurs. If Spurs win the league this year, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If Spurs win a cup this year, very first thing I'll do is come out and say, do you know what? We backed Ange. I wasn't sure on these players. These players have proved me wrong, and I'm delighted to be proven wrong. No problem, because all I want is success at Tottenham. That's all I want. But even that won't deter some people. They will still bitch and moan and say, oh, why wasn't it 5 years earlier? Why did we have to wait 14 managers? Or then on the other side, I told you you should. This place, I've got to the point now where I'm understanding and realising that a lot of people, and this isn't how the genuine fans, many that I've got to meet via doing this and being on social media, the thousands that go to the ground week in, week out, wherever you start, this isn't a dig at those people. It's at the people that literally, no matter what you do, they just want to argue. And the season's upon us now. We shall see. If the window closes like it is now, I won't be happy. I won't be happy with the money we've spent and the quality brought in. Ask me again in 6 months, I could say, do you know what, I got it wrong. In 6 months' time, we could be saying, my God, this has been a disaster. In 6 months' time, we could be saying, oh, my God, this is a success. And who knows, within the next 2 weeks, we could be doing exactly the same thing. But this fan base needs to have a long, hard look at themselves. And I include myself in that. And the way I conduct myself. Because this is absolutely ridiculous what's going on today. And all we want is a successful Tottenham. And if you just focused on that, rather than these petty arguments, these petty troll accounts, and all the bitching and moaning, because I've enjoyed it this summer. This summer, taking a step back and being like I am, has been one of the best summers for me since doing this. But we're getting to the point where it just needs to stop. It just needs to stop. We need to back our manager because the manager needs time. My personal view. We don't get anywhere with chopping and changing. I didn't want this player. Let's face it, no one knew of this player until this broke. Or you may have known about him because you saw him in the Premier League. But I can guarantee you, I could ask 1,000 Spurs fans, not one of them would have said, yeah, do you know how Spurs bring in that winger from but not one of them. He puts the Spurs shirt on, I back him. Back the manager, back the players. We shall see what happens with this board. People know my stance and it will never change. But this is getting ridiculous on social media. Let's all pull in the same, or try to pull in the same direction now the Premier League's here, and back the lads on the pitch and the man on the side of it, rather than bitching and moaning at each other. And you know what? I think I'm going to end it from the heart.